You're watching Morning Coffee on Wayne 15 Plus. Casual conversation that will fill you to the brim. The menu includes trending topics, current events, and a large side of fun. Grab your cup, pull up a seat, and join us for Morning Coffee.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee on this Tuesday morning. We're all just settling in here right now, so if you're settling in too, you're not alone. I'm Sierra Tubbs, joined by Pat Hoffman, Greg Schaup. We have a special guest. Ethan Dolan is here, and Lance Huffman is also around the corner and will be joining us momentarily.
The big fella coming in. We appreciate you coming.
When Pat Hoffman asks, you got to deliver.
I know.
What's going on with
I
your
was like,
microphone?
whoa.
Can we get a close-up on camera 3?
Something wrong with that?
Just no, don't adjust it. Yeah, we want to see what's.
Yeah.
Little loop.
It's not supposed to go there, buddy.
It happens.
Just tuck that in there.
Put her in there.
That's what we like about morning.
Well,
Coffee.
listen, over the weekend, it always happens right after the interview, the back of my suit gets scrunched up from the interview chairs at the back. That's why I do the backless chairs when I anchor.
Okay.
And my collar got all sorts of cattywampus. It was flipped in and out, and we're reading the events, and Lance is like, and I was like, I had no idea what he was talking about.
You probably just thought he was dancing.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he's just an energetic guy. But we figured it out during the events. So.
Lance, you didn't bring the ears. Lance was out at Stoner's Fun Store
I saw
today.
your post, the third generation
And
post.
I think Charles Benberry even had one too, but I couldn't find that photo. But I know I have
And
it.
Taylor King has one. With
Yeah,
his
Taylor.
Yeah,
Taylor,
you had that
I think,
one.
started that.
That's your
that tradition.
screensaver right now, isn't it?
I
Or
think
it was.
it is.
It was at least
it
one
has
point.
She's synonymous with the ears. I mean, it was on her Facebook
We
for a long time.
the first time is always the funniest because we had no idea it was coming, and the laughter that ensued the moment Taylor popped up in the giant monitor with the big ears. Good to see you, Lance.
Good to see you.
No coffee today.
Oh, it's out in the distance.
Okay.
in the distance.
That
Yes,
way.
out yonder.
I would love to just one morning report for First News just so I go to Stoners.
There you go.
I
You
feel
gotta
like everyone
come in,
else
get
has
your
gotten in
big
the
ears.
fun.
Hey, April
Jada
Fool.
got to do the mornings for a while.
April 1st.
Yeah, that's a good point. Come
everyone-
on down.
They
Come on
never
down.
they never put me there.
Well, we can pull some.
Even I
strings.
reported on the morning.
I know.
show at one point.
I started evenings because they're like, man, this kid's not good. We gotta hide him. And then once we got better, they let me out of the 5 and 6.
I remember I did a little photographer work on the morning show.
Really?
Training. I know, old guy you guys wouldn't even know, former photographer Steve Swain. Still a very, very good friend of mine.
Okay.
Diehard Chicago White Sox fan. But when he started, they're like, Pat, we need someone to come in and train the new guy on the live show. I was like, you want me to come in when? Me? At that time in my life, I was, a night owl. So, but I did it, sort of.
There was one morning. I was done reporting on weekday mornings, but I had to play photographer as well. I was never asked to do it again, shockingly. It was on a snowy morning, too, of all things, and it was Adam Slarzik was reporting, and we had to go down to Huntington where they had a couple of inches of snow, and by a couple, probably a foot at that point. We got stuck. I forgot the batteries to the light. Everything died. It was too cold. It was a fun experience, but I'm not meant to be a photographer. It seems
Well,
like.
there's certain things you learn in the business where it's like if you don't really want to do it, you just got to do it so badly that they never ask you to do it.
Didn't
I might have
mean
put
to do it that way.
And that's why I've only ever produced twice.
I don't produce, thankfully.
Yep.
No,
You
do
did-
I.
you did
But I tell
meet
them if
my
they want me
friend
to, I just
Rick
got to
Rader
have
this morning.
proper
I did.
training.
Yeah. I think
Do you like Rick?
We'll talk
there's
about
a
Rick in
three-way
second.
tie in the newsroom for Lance, Dirk, and I about who was probably the worst producer. I've had to produce so I've only ever produced solo, and it's always been on the weekends in the evening when it's like everyone called out sick. I was like, all right, I'm anchoring out to produce. It's actually this very pair of jeans. I'm pouring my heart and soul into the show. Everyone here knows I'm not exceptionally detail oriented. I'm not very organized, and producing is all organization.
You say your
And
desk?
I print the whole show 1 minute before
Oh,
airtime.
no.
Production would've loved you.
Poor Matt and I.
And I look down and I realize I have not changed. I just have jeans on, and I run into production and I'm just like, move every shot to the desk. No one can see my pants. And then I ran here, and we did the whole show from the desk.
It's hard to conceal them even on the desk now.
Anymore, yeah.
Really?
A down the line shot will get you.
Well, down the line.
I don't think I think solo you're good because you sit in the left spot.
Okay.
I mean,
guess if
were-
you lowered
were
your chair
standing,
enough.
too.
I sit.
Oh,
I was gonna say, if
was
you were
it even- I
standing,
thought
you would
were
definitely not be
weekend-
able to hide it.
Weekend evenings.
Yeah.
You were sitting? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I always sit because if I anchor with someone else, I have to sit.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever anchored with someone else was Jada and and like I couldn't pedal because like I had never sat and anchored like.
It's hard to stand
yeah,
and pedal.
It threw me off, so I sit now just in case the occasion
Well,
arises.
it's sort of one of the reasons we sit now. We did the standing for a while, but I got like Achilles type stress on the back
injuries.
there, trying to feather that pedal while you're standing because it shifts your thing. So
I'm waiting to see on the board. You know, it says sick. You know, like an ESPN.
last
It'll give you parentheses about why they're out. Be like Pat 2 to 4.
he's got anchor
Scroller's ankle.
Injured
Yeah.
reserve.
anchor's foot.
14-day.
Hey, we got baseball officially starting tomorrow. First game tomorrow. Is that right?
All right, now we had this story in First News this morning. They are adding automated robotic umpires.
ABS.
They're technically not robots, but it's like a camera system.
Right.
If you had to compare it to anything, you would think of watching a tennis match when they do the lines. You know, is the
Yeah.
ball in or out?
Sponsored by Rolex.
So each team will have 2 chances to appeal a ruling made by the human umpire, which then they will go to the technology. So they only have
Yeah.
2 chances.
How are you going to argue with a robot, and who's going to kick dirt on it? That's what I want to know.
Can they eject you?
Well, the key is.
I'm assuming the umpires are still out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and,
That's
and
the first line.
Yeah.
The umpires get 94% of the calls right. Most people don't realize that, and
It's
they don't
tough.
realize how almost impossible it is
Oh, gosh.
to get them all. But it's just we've all now been, I don't know how many years it's been, but it's been a long time. Where once they started putting that little box up on the screen, you're just so conditioned to seeing where that ball hit that it's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But that all happens in a split second.
And the umpire's got to call it, and it's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like a first down marker. Just because it's there doesn't always mean that that's
Right.
exactly the same point either. In that kind of case.
But I think it's a smart move. I think, and I like the way that they're at least implementing it. Baseball has been reluctant to change a lot of things, being a very traditional game.
Yeah.
But of late, the pitch clock, even though I don't like it in all instances, I think there is some loss. But the overall benefit is
Just get rid of it for the playoffs. That's my take.
Well,
if I'm buying a playoff ticket, I want it to be a 4-hour game. I want to be there.
yeah, because some of those games when they're like 2:10, it's like, my gosh, you really don't have time. It's great for TV, but
Yeah.
the ballpark experience, that is a little bit affected.
I had a question. I told you I was going to bring up some
Yes.
questions for
Bring 'em
you.
on.
So you have a friend that is an umpire, like you mentioned, and so when there is an egregious call, will they? And I might not know anything about baseball by saying this. If there's an egregious call, can an umpire rescind their initial call?
I don't think so.
Yes, you can be overturned by other umps. So like,
On like a ball strike?
I think they can take their time and do it.
I've never seen it on a ball strike. It
Yeah, they
outplays-
can. They've done it
Yeah,
before. They
yeah,
they
'cause-
look at the first base or the third base
Yeah.
line, and the guy goes. Or
Well, you're talking about
A swing. Did they
check
go
swing.
around?
I'm talking like just a
oh, I don't
routine
know.
call.
Yeah.
Strike. Is that
Yes,
what you're?
just if it's egregious, it's clearly not a strike, but it is called a strike.
I've never seen that. The check swing.
Yeah.
They do go to
Okay,
first base,
okay.
third base.
I think
but I've
any
never
other
seen it on
egregious
a-
call you can, like
and
an
on
out
a
safe call,
slide, those
anything
type
in
of
the
things.
field,
They
yeah.
do get together. I've not seen it on.
Okay,
I
so
think they could. I just think it would hurt the ego of the plate ump.
Sure,
pretty
sure,
bad.
sure. So I guess my question then is if there is such an egregious call and the robot picks up on that, will they be like, we got to take the robot's take, and even if
Well,
a team
so-
doesn't appeal it?
They
You
don't
guys tell
get
me
to
if I'm
see
wrong
the
the way this
robot. I don't
works.
think
It's-
unless it's.
Oh, they
appealed.
don't get to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
They're not going to see every
You get
call.
2 challenges, and this is what I like. It's not like, oh, look to the dugout, see what the dugout saw on the computer.
Okay.
It's got to be initiated
Yeah.
pretty quickly,
okay.
just by the pitcher or
That
the
kind
batter, yeah,
of
they
that
tap the
that
top.
Or
really
maybe the
gets-
catcher. I don't know if the
Yeah,
catcher
yeah.
has a
Okay, that clears
chance.
up a lot of my questioning of how this will be.
Yeah, they can't
implemented.
watch it
Okay.
and say, "Oh, you know."
Yeah,
he was-
it's not like
Okay.
football where you can be like, Should we throw the challenge flag?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Got
it'll
it.
be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
Or even
how
basketball, they were doing that this last weekend.
Yeah.
Because the part that's really different is in, like, comparing it to the NFL. Like, the head coach is the one who has the red
Right.
flag, and he has to throw. Here it's the players.
Yeah.
And think about, I mean, baseball players, you know, any sport, you have a selfishness about you. You're in your at-bat. To be a pro athlete, you've got to have a certain level of confidence.
Yeah.
And there are certain guys like Juan Soto and a few other
There's an
guys
ego
that
involved.
have a great eye. It could be the first inning, and if you think, you know what I mean, if you call that and if it just ticks that line, it's an unsuccessful.
You know who's really
challenge.
going to,
So-
the catcher will know.
But if you get to that,
Yeah.
to the later innings, and you've burned your challenges, and then you get that egregious
Both
call.
sides can call for one, the player at bat and the pitcher.
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, anyone.
And is the
top
catcher
tap your
involved
head.
too? Is the catcher involved?
I think the catcher can. I mean, if not, I think he probably just points at the pitcher, and the pitcher. will-
The catcher is the one that's going to know because he knows where his mid is.
Yeah.
And so, and if you ever watch a game, I mean, they're not going to be able to do this much anymore, but he'll move his mid up
Yeah.
really quickly so the umpire.
Yeah, called framing.
Yes.
And I know that there are still really bad calls, but I feel like it's getting like the social media and just the access to every game has increased, so people are able to like post like every bad call that's happened.
That's true. That's
when
true.
I'm not sure how much of it is truly because it's being more publicized instead of it being more or less kind of secluded, I guess, or if that makes sense.
My frustration with replay, and I'm going to guess you guys probably feel the same, is like when they go to the booth, you get all these angles, it seems clear, and then they...
And then they come back inconclusive.
And you're like,
It stands.
Or when you see it, and like that's the most infuriating for me, is when, from everything we've seen, and sometimes they do have more angles than what the broadcast is, so it's like, but like, I can't tell safe or out, so then you have to go with the call. But then they do change it, and those are the ones where it's just like, okay.
Well, and the
It's
other
supposed to
thing,
be conclusive.
the thing that I got frustrated with basketball, you know, it's different now. The ref comes up to the microphone and calls it. But I mean, the time it takes, especially towards the end of the game, when it's like, I mean, it's like 2 timeouts that they go to a commercial break and these
I
guys.
hate the end of basketball games.
Like the NBA seems to be the worst to
I
me.
hate
Like those
the
are the
end
ones
of
that just like,
basketball games.
okay.
The fouling out and the commercial.
So like,
But it
Just
makes
get
it
it
longer.
over.
The challenge makes it even longer because if you challenge something,
Just wrap it up.
they're like basketball games that they shoot a 3-pointer like 5 seconds left, but the clock still runs down after they make it. But there are other games that they stop the clock to review the time, but that helps out the team that needs to score those points. So, like, are we not stopping the clock for some of these, and are we going to?
they're
the clock for some
pretty
of them?
good. They're pretty good about the clock. The
Well, end of
referees
games they
will
stop
check.
automatically.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they
College
will.
and pro,
I just
I think.
noticed. I've seen some of them still go before, unless if
Like
they,
the end of the first half, they don't. Like, but at the end of games,
At the end, yeah.
like in the final minute,
The
I
refs
believe.
and the games I saw, the refs check the clock a lot. They change the clock back a lot.
Yeah.
The other part that's frustrating from a fan perspective is you lose that immediate joy of like buzzer beating shot because it's like, was it in? Was it not? And it's like you know the crowd is going crazy, and then it's like, oh, then you see the referees running
There's
to the.
2 seconds left.
It's like it's just like.
Well, the
but-
best one was. I
But
don't-
we're never once the genie's out of the bottle, they're not.
It
gonna-
wasn't March Madness, but it was like right before it, and this guy made a shot, and one of the players ran out and hugged him, and there was still time on the clock. They did not call him for a technical foul because he should have gotten called, but they didn't want to. That would have changed the outcome of the whole game because there was still like a second or 2 on the clock, and the guy comes out and hugs the player and off the bench.
Well, it's the you know, it's I mean it's a tale as old as broadcast television with the Cal Bears. The band is on the field game.
Oh.
The band is out on the field. I mean, it's like,
right.
what do you call?
what was that?
That was
where
probably before the 3 of you were.
Yeah,
born.
just let them
Yeah, I
run.
have no idea what you're talking
They're
about.
playing. They're playing
Let's say
Stanford.
I've
Yeah,
seen that.
it's Cal Stanford game.
band.
It's like
How
that's-
you've missed that in
it's
your life.
8
That's hard.
laterals on a kickoff return, and they're trailing 4 or 5. And
The band comes out,
storms the
starts
field because
celebrating.
they thought the game was over, and this poor flute player just gets shocked. Yeah.
And they did not They didn't call it back.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, Ball State had the same thing against Western Michigan
Oh,
2 years
yes.
ago, where
They were just offsetting penalties.
yeah, like people are on the field. Ball State players are running on the field, and Western Michigan scores touchdown, and the refs are like, Ball State had like 32 guys on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they had a forward pass, or else that
Yes,
would have been
we
game.
won the game.
But I also like there was a Jaguars and Browns game where fans were like throwing stuff onto the field, and they decide, or it was before that, like they canceled the game. Then the NFL was like, no, you need to come out and finish the
Yeah.
game.
Wasn't a game I was there. I was
Was that
protecting those
was it
Jaguars.
the Jaguars and Browns?
There's Brown. I mean, it's happened for multiple Philly games too. You know, the infamous the Santa game where
They actually used to have a courtroom
they
in
did
Philly.
the jail as
Yeah.
well. I think the jail still
the
exists in the
stadium.
stadium. I think
Yeah.
they still lock you up in there, which is great.
I love
is it monitored
Philadelphia
by-
Probably
so
gets very
much.
full.
Monitored by Big
Philly.
Dom.
I think they're probably the worst fans in the NFL, or close to the Philly fans. Sorry,
They're the best
Listen.
fans.
they're the worst.
I
If you're
think
the other
Packers
team, they're the
fans.
worst.
Exactly.
I'm with
That
you.
makes them the best.
You know what? The whole city can just go.
Whoa!
I think my sister has known since like age 9. I've not liked the city of Philadelphia. And where'd she move? Right out of college. No connection, no ties, no job. She just said, "That's where I'm going." I think just to spite me.
Did she get a job there then?
Yeah, eventually it worked out.
One of my best friends' daughter and husband live in Philly.
Gosh, what a terrible city.
Wonderful state. Great state.
I do like the.
I have nothing against
Their
the
pizza,
city.
though.
I just
Tomato
their
pie, little
their,
tomato slice.
their sports teams
like
are a little
all
over the top, but
Gritty is my favorite mascot in the entire world.
The Liberty Bell can just finish cracking in two for all I care.
So you excited for your Brewers this year?
Yeah, I
What
mean,
Just to lose to the Cubs.
do you remember what happened in the playoffs last year?
See, I love the smack talk.
It was close.
I love the
It was.
good smack talk.
Yeah, I'm excited. They're good. I think people don't realize how much of a baseball city Milwaukee is. So like growing up, you get into a Brewers game for about $3. Bucks games were like $7. You used to get upper rows and then go down as the game went on because there was no one in there. But the Brewers always have had good attendance my entire life, even when we would routinely finish last in the Central, because people love to tailgate so much and they love that community aspect.
That's all there is to do there.
So, yeah,
Absolutely. And so
actually
from the era
Milwaukee
when
is a
Milwaukee
really is a
used to
nice
be in
city
the
now.
American League.
I love Milwaukee.
Milwaukee is like a hipster city now.
I'm a hipster. You
I'm just
don't
saying it
disrespect
is.
the fine people of Wisconsin.
No, I mean it's
It's not
a place
disrespectful
to
be called
go.
a hipster either.
I mean, no, it's like the hip place to go.
Those are fighting words in rural
Oh, I
Wisconsin.
I was
used to
being
be a
I was
hippie.
being complimentary.
But no, it is a really nice city. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope the city's excited. We just had a ton of guys in the World Baseball Classic. 3 guys on Team Venezuela that won. Bryce Terang was starting second baseman for Team USA.
So he played for the Brewers. So that was the one guy who was like, I don't know that guy.
yeah,
Well,
platinum
he's for the
glove winner.
Brewers. Okay, I
Otani, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Greg,
Can you
get Greg a towel.
I just imagine Greg wearing the tie-dye shirt with the piece glasses.
Walton.
And,
Yeah.
Greg, do you have a Bill Walton impression? No. You should get one because I think you as Bill Walton for Halloween would crush.
That actually would.
I think that would be fantastic. So
He was one of my idols growing up.
Yeah.
I remember. He
Sorry,
was
what
one
holiday?
because he played for Wooten and
what
What holiday?
for
Halloween.
Halloween?
Halloween?
Did I say it weird? Don't worry about it. But I think you should do it. You just kind of got to get that. It's a little up here. It was amazing.
See, we need to go to Milwaukee.
he was my favorite.
Morning
Like,
Coffee
and he was
Milwaukee?
only on the Pac. He usually was just on the Pac-10 channel. But he was one of my favorite
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was
commentators.
fantastic.
Because he just said whatever.
Yeah, and it was never about the game. Well, it was great and infuriating because a lot of Pac-10 games were not good. And so then you're tuning in, you're like, Bill, tell me a story, brother. Like, it was 1872, and I was a little boy. But then when the games are good, I'm like, Bill, shut up, dude. Like, please tell me about the game.
Well,
I just
he-
saw something the other day where Frank Caliendo was on the Bill Walton broadcast.
Yeah.
He's doing the Bill Walton impersonation with Bill Walton there during a game. It was pretty
He
darn
got
good.
involved when he was in college and after college. I don't know if you knew who Ken Kesey was. He wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
And he was known for his opium use and free thinking, and Bill. That's
be
where
known
Bill
for
went
something.
after college. Yeah, Bill. He was he
He was a mountain man.
yeah. It was
head
funny
was in
because
the
he was
clouds.
such a clean cut kid in college because he played for Wooden, and you had to be.
Yeah.
And I remember Wooden would be like, he would bring in, like for camps, for the kids' camps, he'd bring in like Abdul Jabbar, and he'd call him by his real name or his name before he changed it, and they would not even discuss it with him. Nobody would say anything to him because they had so much respect for him. And that I remember Bill Walton. I mean, he was such a clean-cut kid because, that's how you had to be for John Wooden, and it was just funny to see what he did after college.
Yeah.
He did play for the Trailblazers.
If he didn't have the injuries.
One of the great what ifs.
Top-
Yeah. Trailblazers.
top
And
five
that's
all time.
why I think he started hanging out with Kesey, because he got the pain relief.
The foot injuries.
Six man with the
early.
Celtics. People forget.
Oh,
I
don't
you
forget,
know
'cause I was a
that
Pistons-
often never forgets. I've always
Pistons
said
fan,
that
so
about you.
yeah, one of the most crushing losses ever was the celebration shot of the Celtics bench. They cut there, and Walton's just like, I can't remember if it was something Larry Bird did or something, but it gets played over and over, and Walton's got the towel on the
Yep.
bench, and it's just like that image is burned in my head.
What would you say biggest inspiration, whether that was sports broadcasting or other, for everyone, journalism wise, who's that person you're like, man, I would love to emulate those attributes when you were younger.
As far as a broadcaster,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, growing up
It could
in
be
Detroit,
news, any broadcast.
Ernie Harwell, and my favorite news broadcaster growing up was Peter Jennings. I thought he was just the epitome of calm, cool, and great delivery.
I thought it would be that guy that leaned back. What was that guy's name? The legendary anchor in Detroit that would be
Bill
leaning back
Bonds?
in his
Ron Burgundy.
He'd have a couple of blasts between newscasts and then go back and do the news. Everybody knew too. I mean, but he was legendary.
Yeah.
I mean,
For me, it was Charlie Gibson. I used to watch the 6 p.m. news with my grandparents every night, and then World News would come on right after. And then Barbara Walters is number one for sure. I can't even list the accomplishments that she had, and just trailblazing for women.
Jane Pauley,
Yeah, Jane Pauley. I didn't watch her growing up, but
she was a Hoosier.
yeah, I'm not a Hoosier, so I didn't have that connection.
But she was like one of the first women in broadcasting.
You two? Anyone come to mind?
Tom
Well-
Snyder, I love Tom Snyder. Probably don't know who he is.
He had big eyebrows.
He was an anchor in L.A., but then he had like a late night show. Most of the anchors that went through L.A., like Pat Sajak was a weather guy, which was a joke, but he ended up,
He did okay.
on his feet. But almost every single anchor that went through L.A. was like Keith Morrison was in L.A. for a while. I think Bill Bonds was
Is that
in L.A.
the
for a while.
Murder?
Yeah.
Is that Keith Morgan?
Yeah.
Where he would always turn, was it murder?
I loved watching him on Dateline. It's still
He's got
just,
a great voice.
It's still just a little extra with him anytime he's doing the Dateline.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I got the right guy. I wasn't sure. I was
Yeah,
like,
he was an anchor.
All right.
all right, we'll be back for the second half of Morning Coffee.
Maybe we'll get Lance's answer.
Who knows?
Let's-
You're watching local coverage you can count on. This is Wayne 15 First News.
Good morning, I'm Pat Hoffman. The Southwest Allen County School Board strongly opposes the location of a proposed quarry development. It held a special meeting last night so parents and staff could voice their concerns. Developers with the Heritage Group have filed requests for rezoning and special use approval for that project. It would include a large quarry and industrial operations on 1,600 acres in the Southwest Allen District. Lafayette Meadows Elementary is the closest school. The board thinks a quarry so close would make noise, traffic, and air quality all worse.
Really, I think we just took a lot of the community input into advisement, and we tried to do our own research as best we could. And tonight, the Heritage Group came and spoke, and we appreciate their involvement.
The lens through which our school board is viewing this is that of the school system, the champions for our schools, our teachers, our students.
One board member said they aren't against a quarry in general, just the location. There is a petition unrelated to the Southwest Allen petition also opposing the quarry. That has more than 3,200 signatures. Residents in Southeast Allen County had a chance to hear more about the countywide fire district plan. There was also information on how the change would impact taxpayers during a meeting last night. Residents were able to ask questions and provide feedback.
We've received some positive feedback, understanding the importance of the emergency services here in the rural part of Allen County. There's a lot of questions that a lot of the residents have, and I think it's important for these public hearings for our residents to come out, ask those questions, get some answers, and if we don't have the answers today, we'll get back with them to be able to understand more the impact of this consolidation it's going to have on the residents of the county.
Now the town of Monroeville and surrounding townships on the southeast side will decide whether they want to join the district or stay independent.
Traffic Tracker 15 is brought to you by the O'Daniel Auto Group. Get over Kelly Blue Book value at bigmoneyforcars.com.
Leesburg Road is closed between West Main Street and Montclair Avenue. Crews are relocating a water main. That work is expected to be finished Friday. Now here's Greg with the forecast.
Increasing clouds today. We're going to continue to watch those clouds come in along with warmth, and temperatures today up to 51. Now tomorrow, as we start to see those clouds, we'll see temperatures in the mid-60s. And then on Thursday, we are going to see some showers and thunderstorms. More consequential thunderstorms in the late afternoon and evening hours, as we are going to see temperatures drop. Those temperatures drop as we head into Friday. So take a look. The next 3 days are going to be warmer, low 50s today, mid 60s tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, but highs in the mid 70s. We'll look for temps in the mid 40s on Friday. It's going to be kind of like Monday, and then temperatures near 50 Saturday, near 60 on Sunday, and mid to upper 60s as we head into April.
Welcome back to the second half of Morning Coffee on a Tuesday. Got the regular gang together, and the big fella, Ethan Dolan, rolled in like he always rolls in, like a bulldozer just entering any room.
Get out of the way.
His microphone assembly to start the show was epic.
Yep.
Cords were coming from all
That's
over
because
the
they
place.
wanted some way to restrain him. They had to have a...
I was described once by a coach as a blindfolded dog in a butcher shop. Didn't know where he was going, but man, he wanted to be there.
Boy, who wouldn't pay just to hear some of Ethan's coaches growing up? If Ethan sounds the way Ethan sounds, you imagine like the coaches
right now.
that were telling him and some of the puns and the different things that they would say. But we were talking about news people or weather people.
Broadcast
that you,
heroes.
Growing up. Who for you, Lance?
No comment.
No comment.
So for context, I did not watch any big time like TV stations that were outside of this area. The only time that would have been happening is if I was like on vacation with my parents, I'm not going to remember who's anchoring those news pieces. I've never seen them before. I'm not going to
Right.
remember them. So it probably, like, just when I was a kid, it would probably be when you likely were still anchoring the morning, when you've been anchoring the mornings.
I was
Because
going to say, likely were. And I'm like, did you switch shifts? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it would have been pretty, I've done it for like 18 years in the morning. So I was
So,
sports before that,
yeah.
but you would have been,
6
yay
years old,
big.
probably would have started to probably remember that. I know I remember seeing like you and Tara quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, as I remember more of the morning shows getting ready for school.
Yeah.
Because I got up at like 6 a.m. and then
That's awesome.
like I remember like some of the evening news. Like I feel like I remember the morning news more than the evening news because
good
the
for business.
evenings we're usually eating in the evening, not paying too much attention.
Turn
on
the
the
news
TV.
off while you eat.
We watched the news while we ate.
Okay.
My grandparents and I, at least. My parents never had the news on. I don't remember.
Our news came on. They started watching it at 4 o'clock. We had to have it on NBC, the NBC O&O. No other station. It's like there's so much other stuff to in LA. There's a ton of there. I mean, we had 28 channels before streaming and cable and all that stuff. And nope.
My grandma reluctantly had to tune into the other stations when I started working on them instead of her loyal one. It was hard for her, but she did it for me. And what about you?
I never watched news growing up. Outside of Walter Cronkite, I could have not named a single journalist. Like Barbara Walters was an unknown to me until 4.5 years ago.
Baba Wawa.
Yeah, Dirk literally, I literally said, I don't know who that is, and Dirk turns to Baba Wawa, and I was like, that's not doing anything for me. But sports broadcasters, I used to, Gus Johnson?
Oh, yeah.
So I loved Gus Johnson so much. I had a little MP3 player growing up. I would download hour-long compilations of his calls.
Oh, my goodness.
Which one's your favorite?
And I would listen.
Mine's Mike Thomas.
No, they're both basketball for me. His early March Madness stuff. It's either Kemba Walker. That's Kemba. And that's the I know that because I listen to him. Shot clock turned off. He's gonna do it himself. 5, 4. Crossover, step back, and then he dips. His volume is incredible. It goes, oh! And then Xavier K-State, I think like 2012, is a triple overtime March Madness game. And his sense of the moment, his anticipation was incredible. It's like he knew when the big shot was going to go in, and he got loud before it did. But it was.
Didn't he call the Hoosier game the one where Penn State game?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. He Big Ten Network has him on retainer, so like he's called most of the most painful games of my life.
If that was Big Ten or not, but it was that call got played over and over again where the pass in the end zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird. I love when he has a famous call and then the people imitate it.
Yeah.
And then they play it on.
Yeah, that
Your
and
TikTok
then
or
Chris Berman was the other
whatever it
guy. I used to just
Yeah,
and nobody circles the wagons.
You now like there's
the Buffalo Bills.
You got that one. You got that one down. Some of your others are a little your Walton one probably needs a little refinement, but that one's on.
Yeah, Chris Berman, him. I mean, I used to get up at 6 a.m. so I could watch the first hour of SportsCenter twice because they would re-rack it, like the 5:30 to 6, 6 to 6:30. So I would watch SportsCenter in full twice.
Isn't he the one that would?
To school.
He could go all the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I would get done with my sports here at Wayne, I would go home. SportsCenter would be on. I'd watch.
Stuart Scott was
one
the
or
other
two.
guy. Cooler than the other side of the pillow was an all-timer.
The talent that ESPN had at that time. Like I just saw like one of those collective pictures. Like Mike Tirico's the young guy, and he's just to me he's the ultimate right now. Yeah, his Olympic performance.
Just great command. You never feel like he doesn't know exactly what's going on.
Right.
Oh,
now here's a guy.
Will Collins.
This is not. You think he's not my favorite?
Who's that?
Probably Chris Berman.
Berman. Okay, that's cool.
Berman, yeah.
Because I just like hearing it's a fumble on repeat sometimes, or just hearing him go whoop.
Yep. Whoop.
See, you would have liked Keith Jackson because his fumble thing is sort of like, a playoff Keith Jackson.
And Berman's kind of a student of the game. So Red Barber, who used to broadcast the Dodgers when Jackie Robinson played there, the dick, 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 dick. That's actually a Red Barberism.
Okay.
He that was a baseball thing where a guy going back for a catch. He had a lot of great one-liners. I mean, obviously only radio at that time, but I think my favorite Red Barberism is this game's more tied up than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day, folks.
Ernie Harwell used to always, on a called third strike, we stood there like the house on the side of the road and watched it go by.
Now, if I had a favorite current modern sports announcer, it'd probably be Ian Eagle or Kevin Harlan.
Okay. Did you see that he did
Just their
the game
quips
with
are
his
amazing.
son?
Yeah, his son was doing
This
the
week?
game
Which is
simultaneously.
kinda cool.
Yeah,
That was cool.
they're good. They're good.
Like the Bucks. I think Jack and Joe Buck did a game or two together,
So
especially
you're
in
talking about
St.
Milwaukee
Louis.
Bucks for a second. I was like,
How are the Bucks of Milwaukee doing? Not
Better than the Pacers.
When your best player has missed like more than 2
Giannis
thirds of the
is still
season, yeah, calf bugging them, leg bugging them, all that stuff. So
Better than the Pacers.
yeah, better than the Pacers. I'm going to the Pacers game this
Well,
weekend.
I'm going to 1 and 2 weekends.
Okay.
As much of a painful season as it is for the Pacers, it could very well be like,
What they need.
well, yeah,
The dra-
they're
Let's
so
say
bad.
lottery
but
could work out.
Like, think of it. Like next, Halliburton, I assume, is coming back normal. Likely normal next year.
I don't know. I worry about him. Just his game is so predicated on his size and strength as a point guard that I worry about an injury
from
like
the
that.
Achilles injury that we're talking about. But a lot of like the Spurs years ago, they had David Robinson. You guys know David Robinson?
Oh yeah,
Sounds
the
familiar.
Admiral. Come
Yeah,
on.
so the Admiral David Robinson, he's Hall of Famer.
Too big to fit on the boat. That's why
So-
the Navy didn't take him.
But then I think he got hurt one year. Like they were a championship team, got hurt.
Tim Duncan.
They lost season, but then the next year they get the number 1 pick and they get Tim Duncan. So
Yeah.
they had two just superstars that they never would have been able to stack if they didn't have that year
Yeah.
where it's like,
Magic, same thing. Penny and Shaq, back-to-back number 1 overalls. That was a little more like luck in the lottery that they moved up, but I think it could be good for them. I don't know. I'm pulling for them. We watched Tyrese highlights in high school because he went to Green Bay, and then at the same time Tyler Hero was at Whitnall in Wisconsin. And, he's blue blood in college, and then got drafted by the Heat. And that was the fierce study hall debate. Who's better? And we're watching AAU games, like dingy
my
gym
gosh.
highlights shot on a flip phone. So
That's beyond
those were the
dedication.
days. I'm invested. I hope he comes back. Well, I think I just want the Pacers to be good. When you live in the state, you can feel it. There's a different energy when the sports teams are good.
yeah.
There's a little more pep in the step.
yeah, like I said, I was honestly like, I knew it was a big deal when I was doing it, but the older you get, the further away you get. Like I covered the Pacers when Larry Bird was the coach, and it's just like a couple of my friends are just, even though they grew up in Detroit, they're just like, for whatever reason, he just loves Larry Bird and the Celtics. And I was just like, yeah, that was just our regular day. And it's like, it's cool, but you don't realize like, oh, today I'm going to talk to Larry Bird. Tomorrow I'm talking to Bob Knight. Next day I'm talking to Gene Cady. Like those were the icons that were out there when I was lucky enough to be doing sports.
Any occasion for the Pacers game, or just going to go?
My friend is actually a Pacers fan. I would say I lean a little bit more Cavs fandom, and so that's kind of the middle point in between home and Pennsylvania
Nice.
here. And also one of my besties' cousins plays for the Cavs.
Okay.
So I'm excited to go see him play.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm going.
I bet they get more for Caitlin Clark than they do for the Pacers games this year.
Not with the TV deals. Not total money. Maybe ticket sales, but
I mean, that's what I'm talking
that,
about. Ticket
okay, yeah,
sales.
that NBA TV
No,
deal is
not
nice.
the TV sales, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
like this,
That
'cause
would
she's
surprise
more
me. Provided
popular
she's
than-
healthy. I mean, that was the thing too, where it's
Yeah.
like the games where she didn't play, you saw the ticket sales just crater.
Well, and the referees got to protect her a little bit more. I mean, they just let people beat her up the whole game.
I know we're working on this story, but Courtney's got a Zoom interview with a WNBA agent today who is actually from Fort Wayne, so it'll be interesting to get that perspective
Such
on
a
all
newsy.
the
Previewing a story.
Well,
oh my gosh!
And they just got their CBA passed. I
right,
think.
which is
Like
now
they can now pay $1 million. It's
and
like,
I think
isn't that the starting salary
the
in the
starting
NBA?
salary I think is now $300,000.
Yeah,
Which
$300K.
is terrible.
But it's better. I mean,
Yeah.
bigger. You got to celebrate the wins and obviously keep striving for better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now that they're making the money, when Caitlin came in, they now can charter jets, which was huge. I mean, but more like an
And
NBA
that's now
team.
in the contract that
Right.
they are
Good.
allowed having
and
charter
and they
jets.
should. I mean, that's ridiculous that they have to go on
I
you
mean,
know.
It is the way it is. I mean,
Yeah, I think the hope is that the momentum stays with Caitlin,
Yeah.
right? Because, I mean, the other thing is part of the reason the pay is so low is that the NBA essentially subsidized WNBA for
Right, I know
more than
that.
2 or 3 decades, where it's like, hey, we're keeping this
But
alive as a separate
When
entity.
she goes and sells out every
100%.
place she
They're
goes,
making money.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just her. It's Paige Beckers.
Yep.
It's I
It's
can't think
her.
of. It's more than just her, Greg.
I'm just saying, as far as like most of the fans, if you can name your names, until Caitlin Clark came into the league, it was nothing.
What's that woman
I'm
who
just going
played
to
for...
excuse myself from that comment.
Thank you. I agree with Pat. I don't agree with
well,
that at
what,
all.
What happened when she came into the league?
It
They
was
started
definitely a big
selling
boom,
out.
but I'm not going to go
They
so
started
far as
selling
to say
out.
that.
They started chartering planes. The salaries went up.
It's not 1 year that made that difference, though, Greg. It was a work in progress.
Well, she was the catalyst.
Gosh.
Disagree with me, it's fine.
Well, no,
This is
it's-
what I'm missing on Morning Coffee.
It's
Yeah.
totally fine. You want that opinion? I'm just saying. I don't share that opinion, so I just want to make that clear. I don't get upset. It doesn't bother me.
I
You know,
just,
personally, I think
just have
Tamika
the facts
Catchings got
behind
the
it.
ball rolling.
Oh, she was unbelievable.
She was great. She's got a little banner at Ball State.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't know if she actually played at Ball State or if she just spoke there.
Yeah,
I think she may have just spoke there once. They're like,
I
we're
thought she-
putting the banner up.
In my mind, I feel like Tennessee, but I'm not.
Yeah, I
positive
don't
about
think
that.
I
she
don't
went.
remember where Tamika Catchings is from, but I know she comes up here a lot.
Yeah, because she played for the Fever for a long time.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I think it's in Pruis Hall, which is like the big lecture hall at Ball State. There's a Tamika Catchings like poster with next to other Ball State grads, and every time I saw it,
Are
I'm
you
like,
talking about the big lecture hall?
yeah, Pruis.
Pruis, yeah.
Every time
I used to call it Prius.
Yeah, she was a vole. So
Yeah, so I don't know, every time I looked at that when I would go in for my economics, I was like,
Oh yeah,
what is that doing out there?
I had economics in that.
that is interesting.
Yeah. Jeffrey Mearns, Ball State president, I know you're tuned in. I
Oh,
need an
absolutely.
explanation. Shoot me an email, all right, boss? Listen,
I mean, she's a phenomenal woman, so great.
I mean,
but-
I'm sure she spoke there. She probably had a speaking tour, and they're like, we're putting it in the rafters. But yeah, Jeff, if you're watching,
So they have
Hey,
what
I've
does the
met him.
banner say?
it just is her name. Like it's just like names of people and like images.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think all the other people I like kind of recognize as Ball State grads, and then it's her.
Maybe they honored her with something or
David
something.
Letterman.
Some award. Oh yeah, I mean he's got a whole building named after him.
Yeah,
so, you know.
yeah.
Or a donation. That's always a
Yeah.
good way to get your name.
That's
on
true.
something.
Could be she gave some money. Shout out David Letterman. Really made my degree possible.
Well, he made the whole. I mean, he made the university like a national name.
Yeah.
Because nobody really outside of Indiana, people didn't really.
The Harvard of Muncie.
And Boo
Wasn't he a weatherman too?
Started
Didn't he
out
do
as
some,
yeah,
like, a
he did
was it
his
THR?
his famous line was, "Hail was as big as canned hams," and he got called into the news director's office. He was like, "You got to calm it down, dude."
I'll have to show you the picture.
I think he might have been anchoring with Jane Pauley at the time. Jane Pauley might have been the anchor. I'm almost positive she was, and I think everybody just cracked up when he did weather.
Yeah.
And Jane Pauley's still so great. Like CBS Sunday Mornings
Oh.
is, like I said, I try not to watch it because I'm so hooked into it, and I usually have other things to do.
Yeah.
But CBS Sunday Mornings are still fantastic.
IU did a great spot. If you ever watch an IU game, they play it a lot, like as their TV commercial spot. They did a great spot on her.
Yeah. During the championship run.
Yeah,
That's when I think I saw that.
yeah.
But no, I think I might have shown it on Morning Coffee before. But when David Letterman came to CBS, it was like a huge,
Oh yeah.
huge thing. And so like this was before I worked at Wayne, but Wayne TV was live at Delta House, which was a local dance club that Pat Man used to occasionally go to. But so the first night they had a big party there, and Wayne TV was out there live, and so I got a picture. They had a Letterman look-alike person or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, so I'm very young, pre-Wayne TV
Okay.
person with the David Letterman.
And you know, David, I know you're watching. Come in on a weekend morning.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
totally like during their live
Morning
shots,
coffee first.
Yeah, weekend morning. Come on in.
Honestly.
trying to get out, like every
Come
time
on
you go
any
out,
show.
you're doing a live shot. And there's always that kid, not like I was a kid, but young guy that's
Yep.
like just trying to like
Or you're just like
maybe
kind
get
of
your
like
head in the back of
you're,
the live shot.
you're looking away, and then you're kind of just like You're just like looking around, but there's like a moment where just like a split second you're just trying to do this, and then you're just, and then you're kind of like doing a small wave. You're like trying to get their attention.
That's called mogging now. It used to be photobombing, but
I
the
d-
new kid term is mogging.
Sorry, I'm
M-O-G-G.
gonna go use some
What do you mean?
mouthwash.
What,
M-A-U.
what do you
How do you spell
mean? What do you
mogging?
mean photo bombing? I'm just trying to get the dude's attention.
Yeah, we
Oh, I
all
missed
three of you
it.
guys have slightly different pages because you were not taking the photo with David Letterman. You're talking about photobombing. You're talking about someone's attention.
I shifted though,
Photobombing,
from
I think we're on the same
the picture
page.
with Letterman. Then it
Well, he
went
just took
from
a
their
photo.
live
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
and
yeah.
me wanting to
Yeah, that's
in the
what I'm
background
talking
trying
about.
to get in. Just,
Just to get in. That's mogging.
like I probably had my
I
VCR rolling at
despise that
home
word.
just in case I could.
Yeah?
It was
Listen,
like
I'm
one of
trying
those
to
where
be
they say,
young.
we're going to be live at such and such.
Me too, and
That's
I don't
why
like it.
went, because I saw it on TV. Then it was like, it's funny how things work out.
I had a friend that he used to fill in for weather for me. His name is Phil Schultz. He's a local guy. And he went to school with David.
Okay.
He knew him in school. And that's about as far as it went. But he and his friends went to a Letterman taping. And he was walking down the aisle doing one of his things. And he just like walked by and was like, oh, hey, Phil. And just kept going. I mean, it was like, he
That-
didn't skip a beat. He was like,
That's
oh, hey,
nice.
Phil.
That's nice. Nice to be remembered.
Well, sort of, but I mean, it's not like he got invited to backstage or anything like that. He just, oh, hi, Phil.
Still nice to be remembered. I hope people I went to college with remember me in a few years, you know?
You'd be hard to forget.
I
A lot of characters at Ball State.
So in the meteorology department, we still keep tabs on each other a decent amount because my fellow graduates, 2 of them work in South Bend markets. Actually, I think 3 of them now that I know from Ball State, and one of my close friends is getting her master's out in Plymouth State.
Okay.
In New Hampshire, I believe is where that one is. I have friends everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a quote from a series, by the way.
Ball State people are everywhere. Even the non-news folks. I mean, checking in. I mean, that's,
Chirp, chirp.
I don't really keep tabs on people because they're not doing new stuff. Most people with my degree end up in corporate video. Some go to LA, try to make it work. They PA for a few years, but it's tough. It's tough
It's
out there.
interesting where you can go with our degrees. One of my classmates is the special assistant to the mayor of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So he's just like
Yeah?
the mayor's right-hand man.
Just doing it. You have a journalism degree? Okay.
My degree is actually specifically broadcast reporting.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's
Oh my
very specific.
gosh. That's crazy. Okay.
But falls under the journalism
Yeah.
communications umbrella.
Yeah. It feels nice that Hannah does not have a journalism degree because she joins me. I think we're the only people that are like everyday reporters that don't actually have the journalism degree. So
Technically, I don't.
you have a meteorology degree though.
But that's not reporting.
Yeah, but you're not.
It's-
I said
it is-
everyday reporter. You're a meteorologist 2 days a week.
That's technically reporting on the weather.
Get out of here.
Well, I went to broadcasting school, so I didn't go traditional,
Oh,
which is perhaps why I loved Peter Jennings. But
there you go.
and like I said, I was a sports guy. Never wanted to do news for a day in my life.
Yeah, I thought being on
So-
TV sounded terrible. Oh my gosh, I wanted to say no, but I had applied to 120 other places, and they all told me no. So I was like, I gotta do something.
Yeah, Tara Brantley came into my office. Have you ever thought about doing the morning? I was like, no. It was a quick no. And then things changed.
What happened?
Ted Lynn, the news
Ted
director at
Lynn.
the time, a lot of my friends, they
Ted
all...
Lynn's definitely.
What's that?
It's a Ted Lynn's definitely watching.
Yeah, I'm sure Ted is.
Just like Jeffrey Burns and David Letterman.
But no, it's just it was a shifting time in sports.
Okay.
The part that's really bizarre is, like, 'cause I always wanted to be the sports director. That was my thing. I kind of wanted my own shop. And Randy had been here for a long time and
Yeah.
didn't think he was leaving. But he ended up leaving a few months after I...
Jump to mornings?
Yeah, but he told me. Like,
Yeah.
so once the change was announced, he goes, Batman, we need to go out and have a drink. So we go out, and I think we went to Acme. I think it was Acme.
And that's where it all started.
And he goes, I'm retiring. And, you know, just, I wanted to make sure that you know.
What was your heart doing in that moment?
I was like, oh. So what it was, though, then I was able to talk to management, and they I got it in my contract that if I wanted to switch to sports,
You could?
I could. So they gave me that option,
But
which
you
I
love the
truly
morning show
appreciate.
so
Is it
much.
still in your contract?
No,
Are we getting the?
Can Pat just make the switch any day again?
no, it'd
The
be
Marini
hard for
Hoffman
me to go
merger.
back to sports. As much as I loved, it was all consuming. Although I'm all consumed by Positively Fort Wayne now.
Yeah.
So it's just my personality.
You dive in. Pat is not a man of half measures.
Like when I did sports, and we expanded to the web becoming such a big thing, I could never get away from it because I'm
Yeah.
at home lying to the better half even back then. But I'm downstairs doing laundry, but I had an office in the basement.
Yep.
And I'm really updating Wayne.com.
The web is tough, but it's like good and bad because in part, I think, man, how tough was reporting when I could only give so much information? Because like I could get tonight I'll go to city council. I'll probably get 5 stories. I've sent emails on 5 interviews. There's a 0% chance all 5 stories make the newscast, and some of them will either be tomorrow or sometimes they get kicked down the road so much that just lives on the website.
Yeah.
So some part of me is like, man, that's tough. But also the other part of me is like, you know how fast, you know how I would clock out on time every day if I didn't have to do the website?
Oh,
Holy smokes, I'd be out of here in time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like to think about just that, it's like half the job.
I guess my schooling was just different because we had a major digital focus in my schooling. So the web has always been number 1 in my brain, which is weird. And that's the first thing when I had my internship that I learned how to do was post web stories. So
That's what we did too. We had that in when I was in school.
Yeah.
yeah, but I was
We didn't have a
also,
TV studio.
The spider web, back then,
and so like it was cool. I could see I had the app and everything like
Yeah.
that. And so that really shifted and shaped how I went into this. And then, I don't know, the web is just like, oh yeah, it's part of it, not the last thing.
I mean, web first, that's what I've been doing when I started because Aaron Oregon.
It's just, it's a different mindset. And when your reporting duties are mainly showcased on air, that's where your like brain set goes to. But yeah, it's that web thing. You just gotta do it.
So I bring the laptop everywhere now, so I can just write a web story on the go. City Council, there's quick story. One time I published the story the moment they cast the last vote. We sent a push alert. Tom Didier, then councilman.
I love seeing everybody get their push.
He's just
I love
he
that.
looks at me from the table. So that's one of my marquee council moments. I'll never forget that
That's
one.
awesome.
Sending the push and seeing who's got push alerts on at the table while they're voting.
It's always funny when you're at an event and you can see, I get a push from us, I can see everybody else who's looking.
Yep.
Download that Wayne with 15 app. Stay informed.
Oh man.
Well, we got a minute. What are you working on? You got city council today.
City Council, 5 stories. Big one that we'll probably talk about at 11 is an ordinance that's going to make it a legal, finable offense to drop off a homeless person in Fort Wayne.
Talk about that one.
Yep. Technically, the ordinance says transient people if they don't have a plan for shelter or where they're going to stay. So it's actually based on a ordinance from the Joplin mayor. So Mayor Sharon Tucker ran into the Joplin mayor at the U.S. Council of Mayors in Washington, D.C., said, hey, we got this problem. The Joplin mayor said, well, this is what we've been doing. It's been working pretty well. So I'm trying to get the city of Joplin on a Zoom today. I emailed that out a little bit in advance so we can kind of get a little more perspective. But there's a ton of stuff tonight on council.
A week from today, you're going to be at Parkview Field for home opener for the Tin Caps, hopefully. Lance, what?
I'm filling in for Nicholas that week.
Oh,
so we might have a special guest that
All
week.
right,
I can't
TBD,
confirm that.
big week-long tease.
That's over for May 2nd.
We could have a special guest that week.
Okay.
Big tease there.
Write it down on the calendar.
We'll see you tomorrow for morning coffee.
I'm a